Yes, hello everybody, this is Ray from Ray's United, and I'm back, people. I'm back. So much to talk about today, and I know it's been quite slow in the pie community, and obviously pie price. People are not happy, and of course migrations as well, and whether pioneers should buy or keep mining pie. Listen, I'm going to talk about all of those because I put out a poll a few days ago, and I put out another poll a few days ago, and one was to do with whether Pioneer should buy or mine pie, and that was sort of telling where Pioneer sway towards, especially those who follow me. And then there was also the one where let me kill this fly. And then there was the one where people were also talking about other things like the migration part and so on and so forth. So listen, we will discuss all of those, and smash the like button where you're at, smash the subscribe button, of course, become a member. We're almost at 50k, just under 90 subscribers to get to 50k. So let's do this. If you're new to the channel, help this channel get to 50k. After so many years, we're almost there. So let's do that, and from then we know it's an upwards trajectory. When I come back, it's on. Yes, I'm back. This is Ray from Ray's United. Smash that like button, smash the subscriber button, of course. Become a member. Let's let this channel grow. Let's get to 50k. Like I said, we're almost there. So let's help the channel get to that 50k. Subscribe, of course. Lots of content to come on this channel. Mostly pie content, some of them non-pie, but you will be the first to know if there is any breaking news, of course. At the moment, there isn't any breaking news, but there is one particular news. I wouldn't say breaking because some of you may have had an idea. So I will talk about that somewhere down the line on the show. But this is good. And of course, let me know where you're watching from. So down the line, I'll give you a shout out, as well as, you can put in city and country. That would be great. Let's say hi to one another, of course. It's very important. So, you can check in if you're here. Moderators, I don't have many now because I only put in regulars as moderators. So two regulars. One, I know her reason, so she's fine. She communicates with me as to what her reasons are, and I get it. She watches it behind the scenes. The other two, they're sort of regular, so I've kept them there, and then the rest, they can't be bothered, so I've chucked them out as moderators. So it's good. You need to work. If you can't work, then you can just F off. Anyway, listen, those of you here, I really appreciate you, and I would say kudos to you if you are a pioneer who has been migrated, of course, and congratulations to you. There are some who are yet to be migrated, and so they are sort of wondering what's going on behind the scenes, what's happening, why are they not being migrated, even though it's been said that pioneers who are eligible to be migrated are the priority. So, these are questions that are genuine questions, legitimate questions that people are asking. And I obviously would talk about that and discuss the poll I put out there recently, and which is still ongoing on X. So you can go there. And so far it is telling. A lot of you are saying that, you don't want even part of your pie migrated. You want all of your pie migrated. And I sort of agree with you because that's your what you deserve. All your pie need to be migrated into your wallet. And I mean rewards. I mean pie from validations, pie from your security circle, pie that you've earned from your referrals as a result of their contributions. You deserve all of that. I deserve all of that. You understand? So however much it is, that's your pie that you deserve. But do they have to? The question is, do the pie core team, or does the pie core team need to give that at a certain point in time, or do they have to give it like ASAP, as soon as possible? So these are the questions that, all of us need to try and put across and see if we have answers to, because they may have their reasons, but at the end of the day, listen, we need to be completely decentralized. And a lot of people believe that their pie cannot be held and they themselves cannot be held to ransom, because a lot of people are fearing that their wallets may be compromised. Do you know what I mean? And so in one way or another, somebody's wallet or Pi wallet may be compromised. And if so is the case, then there's an advice that I can give. It's just an advice. I can't tell you what you need to do. I can only advise you on what you may have to do in order to alleviate or reverse the compromise of your wallet. Do you know what I mean? So there is that. And of course, we should talk about a lot of different things. Some pioneers still may not have been KYC'd. I don't do the validations anymore because I don't get anything. So I've stopped. I don't even think about it anymore. But I will not advise you not to do it. I would say if you haven't gained any validation rewards yet, do it so you can get some rewards, because they may come in handy. And of course, somebody may ask, when will you receive your validation rewards? Now, as I've been led to believe, the validation rewards will be given when the second migration is ongoing. Second migration will be much easier than obviously the initial migration. So because second migration would mean that you've already been migrated before, so rigorous verifications wouldn't be required. Do you know what I mean? Therefore, it will be a lot straightforward compared to like first time around being migrated. You know what I mean? So once that happens, it will be swift. Now, when is that going to happen? I've released videos about it. You can go watch it, but I can tell you the supposed date is no earlier than end of the year, which means no earlier than December 2025 or January 2026. So it's no time soon, unfortunately. And when I'm doing live, that's when stupid people begin to fucking talk. I'm going to mute it a bit. Yeah, I'm back. I hate it when I'm doing the live show. That's when everybody wants to talk. So annoying, man. I'm talking about people here, not you lot. You lot are just great. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, you guys need to understand that I am always on your side. I will never be on the side of anyone other than you. You are the reason why this channel exists, not because of anyone. Do you know what I mean? And I've learned a lot. And so when I'm doing these live shows, it's not for clout, because I don't care about that. I'm doing so you would benefit from the news I have. And whatever I have, I don't care what those core team members say, because they're not going to tell you anything. That's one thing you should know. And what they need to tell you will be limited, of course. And so me, when I get those scoops, I'm here to disclose it to you. I don't care. There is no non-disclosure agreement for me to withhold that from you. You know what I mean? I choose to disclose what I want to disclose and what I don't want to disclose. So I may have some scoop, but eventually I'll tell you. Not yet. Eventually I'll tell you. But for now, what... Hang on a minute. I need to check something. Yeah, I was watching something before I came live, so don't worry. If you're watching it, sorry about that. But yeah, so what I need you guys to know is I'm always on your side. Just remember that. I'm always on your side. So don't shy away from questions you want to ask regarding migration, because that is the main thing that should be happening right now at the pace that is so fast. Nothing slow, nothing withholding. It should be happening until it can't happen anymore, until the servers are jammed. That's what migrations. People need their pie. Some people's wallets may be compromised, so they're scared. And I don't know I know what they need to do, but I am not going to be the guy to be telling people what to do anymore. because you tell them and then something happens, they'll say, you said it. So I have to be cautious. They need to go to the Pi core team. That's their job. They need to do that because at the end of the day, they're not my friends. I don't work for them. I would never have any sentiments towards them. I keep saying that. Mine is always about doing stuff for you. Do you know what I mean? And so if you don't want that, then you go to the Pi core team and see if they'll give you any response. They won't. So I will be here, get my scoop, give you what you deserve, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's one of those that I would personally say migrations need to happen as quickly as possible and as fast as possible, as swiftly as possible. It shouldn't be people's Pi shouldn't be withheld. Do you know what I mean? So yes, the Pi core team must migrate all our Pi tokens. They shouldn't withhold it. And somebody would say, yeah, what if we have too much Pi or so many Pi in circulation? It doesn't matter. It doesn't dislodge the fact that the same amount of people who are holding their Pi will still be holding their Pi, which means the rate of Pi, the rate of change of Pi, or the price of Pi will still be the same, whether it's an appreciation or a depreciation. The price will still be the trend that's still going to take. You receiving your Pi, you may have made up your mind already whether you want to sell off your Pi or hold your Pi or whatever. You may have made up your mind already. So giving you your Pi doesn't mean the price would be dislodged one way or another. The rate will still be the same. The Pi that's being held will still be the same, which means that the value will still be the same. Do you know what I mean? Unless people begin to be tempted and say, oh, I've got 1,000 Pi, so I want to sell. If you sell, well, you're going to get peanut. So you will still hold it because you would realize how serious this thing is. You know, and yesterday I was speaking with Aston when I'm doing this video. I was speaking with the founder of Enough Respect, Elroy, and obviously he said he loves Pi. You know, he's always Pi is what led him to establish his own token, meme coin called Enough Respect. Do you know what I mean? So we can all do a lot with the knowledge we've gained as a result of being Pi network users, you know, in other words, pioneers. But that's not to say that we should stay sentimental and not and start, you know, people have got this mentality where sometimes it just baffles me that they don't know that the core team, as much as they tell you they care about you, in reality, they don't. You know what I mean? In reality, they don't, because if they do, most of your predicaments would have been solved by now. Yeah. So most of your, I keep getting distracted and I keep losing my train of thought. Anyway, let me read your comments. Let me read your comments and then I'll go back. Let me see. What are people saying? The truth is here, of course. Samson is here. It's been a while of seeing you. Injikam is here watching from Cameroon. Peterson is also here. How would I spend 10 days to mine one Pi, or I can just buy it very cheap? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that. Don't worry. I'm going to put it somewhere. We'll talk about it. John or Gabriel John watching from Nigeria. We've got William Sunday watching from Abuja, Nigeria. Ido Peter watching from Nigeria as well. Selmo saying Pi to get it together. Pi got to get it together. Yeah, absolutely. Chinedu from Amici, Anambra State, Nigeria. We've got Sheraz. Hey, when our referral rewards? I've already said that. This is obviously Samson watching from Nigeria. Idris watching from Algeria. Idris is also ever present. Pi browser boosts. Is this guy spamming or something? Oh, anyway, Frank is here as well, and we've got Karma watching from Bhutan. We've got Ali watching from Nigeria, and yeah, Frank, good to see you too. And then, of course, when will the validator rewards start coming into our wallet? I've already said it. If you came early, you would have known. But you can watch the video again and you will know exactly, or just rewind back to the beginning and you will know exactly what I said. But I can't really say anything. Now, let's get into whether or not it's better to buy Pi or mine pi, knowing that it takes a very long time if you don't have a lot of people. Now, those who say mining pi is great, listen, I even have a lot of people, and mining 1 pi per day is hard. Do you know what I mean? So, me personally, I would buy pi because it's cheaper at the moment. Almost $2. Sorry, almost 2 pi. It's $1. There's a bit over that, but you know what I mean. And the price keeps being where it is. So I can say the benchmark for pi is about 60 cents. That's the benchmark. So me personally, I would be playing with pi, and this is an advice I'll give you. I'll be playing with pi anytime the price goes above $1.50. I'll be playing with it because I know it's going to go back down to the benchmark, which is 0.6 something. So I would always make sure once it goes past $1.50, I'm playing with pi, which means I sell some and then I wait till it drops and then I buy. Simple as that. And it's just simple, trading technique. You just have to know how the techniques work so you can make your profit. Otherwise, you will think, oh, it's going to go to $3 and then you're waiting, it's not going to $3 and then it goes back down. But you don't need to do that as well. That's just my technique. You don't need to do that. You can still hold on to your pi even if it gets to $1.50. Therefore, if you don't sell it, the price keep appreciating. That's why I said pi price appreciation. That is actually on the thumbnail. I couldn't put it here because I didn't have enough characters left to be able to put in there. That's why I said pi price. But so do you want to? Now, this is a question that probably I need to ask you, the audience. It's not many of you here. So let me wait, hang on. I need to check something. Okay. All right. So I'm going to. Oh, okay. So I'm going to this guy. I'm going to put you on a timeout. This is not some joke here. Okay. I'm going to put you on a timeout for 5 minutes. It's not some joke where you come and you start making comments. Okay, so let me just try and create a poll here. Let me start with this one. Where is it? Okay, so what would you rather do? This is the question. What will you rather do? This one or that one? Considering what the price of pi is right now, what would you rather do? Mine pi or buy pi? This is where I need you to. How many of you now? 58. So it's there. Let's see what you're gonna say. What will you rather do? Mine pi or buy pi? I want to know because I know what I would do considering what the price is and considering how mining is. But you lose nothing with mining. Remember that. You lose nothing with mining. You still need to continue mining. But if given the choice, which one would you do? Mine or buy? Which one? Mine or buy? I want to see what you guys would say. I don't think you understand what the context is. The context is considering what the price is and considering considering what the price is and considering how much pi you need to mine to get to 1 pi. So would you say, oh, is it worth it to get 60 cents in 10 days? That's the question I have to ask you. Is it worth it to get 60 cents in 10 days, which you can make? Some people can make it in a microsecond. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. Is it worth it? Unless 1 pi is worth $1,000, then or $100, then mining pi compared to buying pi, I would buy pi because at this price, because that is it. So the question is, and my AI would have to also take this. The question is, AI, will you rather what will you rather do, mine pi or buy pi? And me personally, I would, considering the price and considering how low the price is and how long it takes to mine one pi at the moment, I'm talking about the moment, maybe in future it'll be different, but at the moment I would rather buy pi. Given the choice, I would rather buy pi than mine pi. However, if the price, again, if the price is at a certain amount that I feel like this amount is great, then I'd rather keep mining than buy. So again, it's given a choice. So given a choice, you have the choice to make, of course. And that is great. That is great. So let me go read your comments and let me see what you guys are saying. And any opinion is not wrong. Just remember that. No opinion is wrong. And you know what the buying would do, right? It would appreciate the price. That's one thing you need to also remember. Buying pi means you're going to appreciate, which means the price goes up. Do you understand? It would appreciate the price of pi. Andre says mining pi makes sense in that if and when the price hits like 500, the average person won't be able to afford it. I know what you mean. But I'm saying right now, what's happening here? Yeah. So again, the condition I gave, you didn't listen, Andre James. What I'm saying is, given the price that pi is at right now, that is the thing I'm saying. I'm not saying future. I said right now, given the price that pi is at, would you buy or sell? If that price remains the same, like for the past 2-3 months, on average, it's remained around that 60 cents. Considering that, will you buy or mine? That is what I'm saying. I just said it. I said if the price is very high, say $100 or even $50 or whatever, then hey, mining is great. Do you know what I mean? Mining is great. But if the price is what it is right now, 60 cents, and somebody's mining rate is so low that he mines one pi in 10 days, basically, then you're mining 60 cents in 10 days. So I'm just saying right now. So again, remember the conditions that I've set. It's got nothing to do with what could be in the future. I'm talking about what it is right now. Do you understand? So that is what it is. And when I put out that poll, pioneers would rather, on a majority, would rather buy pi than mine pi. That's what it was, because I set out the condition and it was straight. Do you know what I mean? So your answer, your comment, Andre James, is not wrong, but at the same time, the other one is also not wrong. It's all based on present and future conditions, you know. So if it's future conditions and it goes up, then of course we would definitely, given the choice, these are the conditions. These are all hypotheticals. Do you understand? So, and I'll never stop mining pi. I don't miss mining pi. I keep mining and mining and mining and mining. Although the accumulation is not much, but I keep mining. You know, I'm not going to stop mining. But remember, the conditions are what I set. Given the conditions, what would you do? That's all it is. Nothing else. Okay. Nothing else. So 36 votes so far, and the vote is interesting, but it's just a few people here, so not many people. So we will see. All right, we will see. All right. Good. So now let's play around with the price of pi. Right now, as we speak, what is the price of pi? Let me check on my phone. It's definitely around that 60 cents. So let's see. What is the price of pi? So right now, it's around 64 cents. So it's around 64 cents. And today is gone up by 2%. So let's see. And let me see the time that I'm doing my live. Okay, so yeah, the price keeps going up and going down and going up, but it's really nothing. Really, it's nothing. It's been hovering around 63 cents on average, just about 64 cents, about 63 cents is what it is. So it's been hovering around that for quite some time now. If I look at by the day, it's around 64 cents on average. So for the past 10, 15, for the past 10 days or so, it's been around 64 cents. So that's where it's been all this while. So, if you have some money, you can buy, like Nsani said, you can buy 100 pi. You see, the reason why I'm saying buy, you don't understand. I'm trying to put across. Remember, I put out the video and I said I agree with Doris Yin in terms of the fact that she's saying Pioneer should buy Pi. If each person bought $20 worth of Pi, imagine let's say 100 million engaged pioneers, and each person bought $20 worth of Pi. That will be $2 billion that people have bought pioneers on average. So that 2 billion would be worth something that should shoot the price of Pi up. You understand? And that's why I've been advocating for people to buy Pi, because I said that I agreed with. Like I said, I'd never agreed with the GCV figure that they keep giving, because it's too fixed and it's too unrealistic for now. But the fact that she advocated that people should buy Pi and try and we should control the price of Pi, not those so-called whales. How can we allow a few people to control the price when we are so many, when we are tens of millions, close to 100 million, and we're letting just a few people control the price of Pi? That doesn't make sense. And yet you see pioneers in groups, in some groups on Telegram, complaining and moaning and saying all sorts of things without taking action. Because complaining is not going to help you. You need to take action. And if you take action, then we can do something about it. The complaints aren't going to, it will not do anything. Crypto is a ruthless game. Nobody's coming to help you. You need to, like Vindicator Chidiwu said, nobody's coming to help you. And that he's right. Do you know what I mean? So you guys would have to know, nobody's coming to help you. You need to help yourselves. And to do that, if we can collectively, we're lucky. We have a community, a Pi network community. Yes, my word doesn't go far, but there are bigger communities and bigger accounts which you can communicate this, relay it to them, and let them know that we're all one big community. Although we may not see eye to eye on certain things, the end goal is still the same. The goal is still the same, the betterment of Pi network with utilities and so on. So let's do this. And if we can do that, if we can go to exchanges and buy Pi, and instead of just complaining of mainnet migration, let's just buy Pi. You can buy it and keep it in the wallet there. You don't need to send it back to your Pi wallet if you feel like it's compromised. Just keep it in your crypto wallet. Sorry, the crypto exchanges. Keep them there and see what happens. Do not do anything. Do not sell it. Do not trade. Nothing. Just keep it there and see what happens. Keep buying and keep it there. Keep buying and holding, and see what happens. I'm telling you, at this price, you will miss out. You would regret not buying because the price is very low. We know the potential is great for Pi, but if you don't buy it and the price goes up, you buy it at a higher price. So why not buy it now that's under $1? Come on. If it's under $1, it's less expensive than the dollar. So if it's less expensive than the dollar, you need to take advantage of it, because this is the time. These are early days for Pi, but in future, you'll be looking at it and regretting that you had the money and didn't buy Pi. Imagine you buying 200 Pi, which would be worth less than $100 if you have the money. And then suddenly, one Pi is worth $100. That 200 Pi you bought would have appreciated so quickly to 20,000. You only bought it. Sorry, did I say 20,000? What am I saying? Yeah, 200 Pi. And then $100. It would be 20,000. You only bought it for under $100. Do you understand? So again, I'm saying this because that's what I am doing. And I believe I lose nothing, because the only way is up for Pi. I've seen other projects and they're going nowhere. Pi is huge. We, the community, can control that. And I believe it's going up. So I'm not worried about the price of Pi. obviously. So let's get to that. Let's talk about the price of pi. Put in the comment section and be realistic, please. I don't want to see any unrealistic figures because those may disappear. But in reality, where do you think pi's price could be in the next 6 months? Now, this is 6 months, which means June, end of the year. What price do you think will be at by the 31st of December 2025? Put it in the comment section. I'm not going to do a poll for that. Put it in the comment section whilst you can still look at a poll as to what we're discussing. So yeah, do that. So again, the context of what will you rather do is to do with the fact that it's a contextual sort of question that I've asked. And the context is, right now, considering the price of pi, what will you do? Considering the price of pi, will you buy more pi, or would you just keep mining without buying? Because if you're just mining, you know the price is not going to go up, right? You know, right? Okay. So that's the thing. All right. So people are being realistic. Keep typing. I will take a look at it and then we'll see. All right. It's water, so don't worry about it. It's water. All right, so people are being realistic. Let's see. Lizzie, are you here? Or are you not? Lizzie, are you here or are you not? Or J-Dog, check in. J-Dog, Lizzie, are you here? I need 1 or 2 moderators around. All right, so I'm seeing some figures. I'm seeing $3. Arinze says $3. Peterson says 4. Dedan says 0.87. Low people says, I want to see $3 first again. Okay, that makes sense. And then Cyprian is, I already bought around 1,500 pi so far. Maybe I'll buy more. We'll see. I mine 140 pi per week. I pass 12,000 validations. Yeah, you're going to be rich with pi. I can't mine 140 pi per week. God, I can't go anywhere near that. My people, they don't mine anymore. So only about less than 10% are mining now. Thank you, Pi Core team, for discouraging people. Thank you very much, Pi Core team. Yeah, I will not be disappointed with rewards from them. No doubt. You'll not be disappointed. Abayomi here saying, thinking the price will hit like $5 by December. I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Pi is a threat to all the major cryptocurrencies and all the layer ones. Pi is a threat to them. They didn't expect that a mobile mining crypto will hit these numbers. You know, even at one time, the market, altogether was over 3 billion at one time. You know, so they saw the threat. And at one time, we were 11th. If you remember, I did a video about it. The position of Pi was 11th. They couldn't break into the top 10 because of Tron. But they saw all of that. And so, you know, they decided that, you know what, they're going to try and sabotage the price of Pi. So what did they do? They started doing what they did, which I'm not going to say. Those of you who know. And obviously, yeah. So price manipulation here and there, you know, then the self-correction will come, and then price manipulation, and then self-correction. So when you see the price of Pi rising artificially, which means a spike, it means it's going to fall so sharply, you know, and that's not what you want. You want it to be rising. If it rose by 20 cents each day, that is gradual. If it rose by $1 in 24 hours, we're in trouble. Because it will go up, and it could go up to $3 in 3 days, and then suddenly, boom, sharply goes down to $1 in a few hours because people are dumping. Do you understand? So we don't want that. We want to confuse the so-called investors, the fake investors. We want to confuse them. And we are the only people that can do that. We, the pioneers. If we buy Pi, let's say we buy $10 every day, if you have the money. On average, that's what I'm saying. $10, $20, $10, $20, $10, $20 every day. each person on average, which means some may be able to buy 100, some may be able to buy one, some may be able to buy, I'm talking about in terms of dollars. By the time you realize, those so-called price manipulators would begin to be scared of the community because they will know how united we are and how difficult it is to break into our barriers, our security circle, if you know what I mean, per se. So yeah, we should be able to do that, but the community is not united enough. It's too divided. It's too scattered everywhere. Everybody's just taking advantage of the whole situation and preying on people's vulnerabilities and scamming individuals of their pie and rinsing their pie wallet dry. And so there's a lot of evil stuff going on out there, and it's unfortunate that we are going to encounter characters like that. But it's up to us. We need to be careful. If somebody texts you out of the blue, do not respond. Even if I text you out of the blue, do not respond, because you have to text me. And even if you text me, I may not text you back because I block a lot of texts because of a lot of SIM swaps and all of that. Listen, I've caught up to all those things. So I'm not going to fall for those. You know what I mean? So, yeah, especially on Telegram, you have to be careful on Telegram because, there are a lot of scammers there. So be very, very careful. All right. Yeah. So let me see what the poll is saying. What's the poll saying? All right, only 57 people. Yeah, that's all right. 57 is all right. Let's see. All right, cool. Yep. So Karma here saying by end of 2025. Karma here say, yep, I killed it. Yes, this fly is so annoying. Fruit flies. By the end of 2025, pie price will hit $5 to $10, $5 or $10. Yeah, well, if it hits that, I'll be happy. I will be happy if it hits that. I hope so. I think Picoin should look into allowing persons who may have compromised wallet to initiate a move into new wallet whilst their pie is still locked to prevent the loss of their pie. You're absolutely right. I think they will do that. I believe they will do that. I believe they're working on something to enable you to have maybe a secondary wallet with a secondary passphrase. And this time you will learn your lesson, because I don't think they would deliberately let people lose their pie because of their negligence or ignorance or idiocy. But I think people should be given a second chance. That's what I think. Unless they try to scam the system and the system scam them back, then that's different. If you know what that means. So if it means trying to create numerous accounts and all of that, that is not the way. Do you know what I mean? That's not the way. One account is good for yourself with one number, and you should be fine. Do you know what I mean? But I know a lot of people try to scam because people are greedy. People are greedy, and they'll always find a way to try to scam the system. And when you do that, it will come back to bite you hard. And when it's biting, you don't come to me because I can't help you. I can't help you because right from 2, 3, 4 years ago when I started doing this video, I kept telling people, do not establish or create multiple accounts. It will come back to bite you. And a lot of people didn't listen. They thought, what's this guy on about? What's this guy on about? And now it's come back to bite them, and they're all wondering why that happened. Well, it's happened because some of you didn't listen. You didn't pay attention. But I pity those who somehow ignorantly didn't really have an idea of what was going on, and then eventually, their accounts got compromised. That is different. But I believe people should be given a second chance, and then after that, they're on their own. I believe that. I believe that. So yeah, I'll end the poll and let's see what the poll says. All right, so it was 47%, something like that. So if it's very close, but it's a small amount. It's not many people. So it's those of you watching who actually split between 53% for buy pie and 46% to. So that's all right. That's all right. If someone texts me out of the blue, they automatically are blocked. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You know, especially when they text you trying to lure you in. Be very careful with those people. Just block them. That's all I can say. Because how did they get your contact that they're trying to contact you? Contact you for what? You know, I just block them. Do not respond to those messages. And it's just to be on the safe side. Even phone calls, be very careful. You know, be very careful. If someone calls you and they are who they say they are and they've got your WhatsApp, then they can send you a voice note or whatever. But they shouldn't just call you out of the blue, because me, I don't pick calls up if I don't know your number. I don't pick you up. I don't pick any calls up. You know, I'll not pick them up at all. So yeah, it's been one hell of a show. Listen, I'm happy to always have you guys. You know how I do it. But I think we've discussed everything. If you've got any questions, you can ask while I'm just concluding. So we've spoken about, obviously, the PyCore team, the fact that the PyCore team must migrate all our Pi tokens. Yes, they must. Do you believe in that? Yes, I do. I know you do believe in that. And I asked the question on X, should they migrate all our Pi or should they migrate some of our Pi? And overwhelmingly, most of you said they want the PyCore team to migrate all of our Pi. So, hey, that's what it is. Yep, that's what it is. Yes, take care of yourselves, people. I'll release segments of this video as and when I can. The name is Ray. Channel's Race United. Word is peace, and I love you. Race United.